Hi everybody, welcome to Bake Me Happy. This week we're going to be making Tim Tam brownies. The first thing we need to do is preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 160 degrees if it's fan forced. The ingredients we'll be using today are 1 1/3 cups of plain flour, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder all sifted together, 180 grams of dark chocolate with 150 grams of butter, 3/4 cup of brown sugar with 3/4 cup of caster sugar, 3 lightly beaten eggs, and 1 165 gram packet of Tim Tams. I've chosen the red velvet type. And the equipment we will be using is 1 lined baking tray. This is just an adjustable one. You can make it to whatever size you like. A chopping board, a knife, a wooden spoon, and a medium saucepan with just a thin layer of water on the bottom. Now that the water's come to a slight bubble, we're just going to move the chopped chocolate and cubed butter onto the top and stir it until it's melted. Alright, so we're about halfway through melting, and just a quick tip, if you make sure that your bowl isn't touching the water, it'll melt a lot more evenly and a lot quicker. Another thing that you could do is you could just put these into the saucepan without the water on the bottom and cook them and then transfer them into a heat-proof bowl for the next step. But I've chosen to do it this way because I think it makes those things dirty. Alright, so this is just about melted. We've got a couple lumps still left and we're going to keep stirring until they're completely gone. But once that's finished, we're going to just put it onto a chopping board to stop it from ruining the bench. But then we'll leave that to cool for 10 minutes and move on to the next step. Alright, the next step is to take the Tim Tams and pull them out of the packet and then just cut them into 4 slices. Just like that. So I'm going to do that with the rest of them and then we'll come back and finish. Alright, I've finished chopping up the Tim Tams and we're just going to put those to the side because we don't add them until the end. And now that our mixture is almost at room temperature, it doesn't really matter. It just needs to be not hot because you don't want to cook the eggs when you're adding them. So the first thing we're going to add is the flour and the cocoa powder. And we'll just stir that in. Once that's slightly incorporated, it doesn't have to be fully mixed in, we're just going to add the 2 sugars and mix that in as well. Right, and it's a little bit dry, so we'll just add the eggs in now to give a bit of the moisture back. Alright, we've got that to a smooth consistency and our next step is to add all the Tim Tams in. I'm just going to add them a little bit at a time so that they don't get too mashed, but it's up to you how much you want to add at a time. If we just be gentle with these stirs just to make sure that none of the Tim Tams get too broken up. Alright, so now we're going to transfer our mixture into the pan, and I've just switched over from a wooden spoon to a spatula to make sure that I can get every last bit out. Alright, so we're just going to push that all through the pan. Then we'll use the spatula to flatten the top and to make sure we've got all the biscuits covered. So I'm going to put it in the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes, and depending on how gooey you want the insides of your brownie, it'll depend on how long you need to cook it for. I'm going to cook it for 35 and then check it. So the timer's just gone off, we're going to take it out of the oven and allow it to cool in the pan. Alright, here we have our finished brownies. Now mine are a little bit undercooked, they're still a little bit gooey on the middle, but that's how I like them, and I cook them for about 40 minutes. but every oven's different and it depends on how you like your brownies. Thanks very much for watching Bake Me Happy this week. If you like the video, please like, comment or subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Bake Me Happy.